Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Strange Days True Crime, where we look at stories of unsolved and solved murders and disappearances throughout Canada and the world. If you have a case you'd like me to cover, please email me at strangedays0000@outlook.com or leave me a comment. So don't forget to like and subscribe for new videos. Thanks and enjoy. The Unsolved Vanishing of Ashley Loring Heavyrunner. Ashley Loring Heavyrunner was born on November 23rd of 1996 to her parents Roy Lee Heavyrunner and her mother. Ashley and her siblings would spend a few months in foster care before living with their grandparents. Ashley was the middle child, having a younger sister, Johnny Lynn, and an older sister, Kimberly. Growing up, Ashley learned how to chop wood for her grandmother's stove, muck stalls, ride horses, and spent time swimming in the nearby creek on summer days. Ashley is known for her positive attitude with a big heart. Ashley is always willing to help and is smart, and was a star athlete in high school with a contagious smile. Ashley once gave a speech at a college in Boozman about the buffalo, which earned her a lot of praise. Ashley is described as beautiful and outgoing, really just everything you could look for in a person. Ashley had it. Her family says Ashley loved the rain and horses. Ashley is a member of the Blackfeet Indian Reservation in Montana. The Blackfeet Reservation is larger than the state of Delaware, spanning more than 1.5 million acres. In June of 2017, 20-year-old Ashley was living with her family on a ranch in Browning, Montana, and was enrolled in the Blackfeet Community College, where she was studying environmental science. Ashley had become aware of the large number of missing and murdered Indigenous women and had told her sister Kimberly she wanted to bring more attention to this issue. Ashley and her sister Kimberly had a plan to move Ashley into Kimberly's apartment in Missoula, where she would then attend the University of Montana. This was the sisters' plan once Kimberly had returned from a 3-month trip to Morocco. On June 5th of 2017, Ashley had gone on to Facebook asking friends for a ride into town. Ashley's mother had gone into her daughter's room and told her she loved her before Ashley would head out. Ashley had packed a few clothes into a blue string backpack and then headed out the door, where she hopped into a friend's car and they drove off into the night. Ashley would later text her sister Kimberly and had asked her for some money, but because Kimberly was still on vacation, she was unable to help Ashley, but had asked her if she was okay, to which Ashley replied, "Always." When Kimberly returned home from her trip, she tried to get in contact with Ashley, but was unable to get in touch with her. Kimberly wasn't too worried at this time, as she had thought that maybe Ashley had gone out of town to visit friends or had lost her cell phone, as she often did. Not long after, Ashley's father became sick and was hospitalized for liver failure, and this was when her family began to worry, as they knew Ashley would have contacted them, but had not. Kimberly then started to contact Ashley's friends to see if anyone had seen or had contact with her since June 5th, but no one had seen or heard from her. Kimberly would then report Ashley missing to the tribal law enforcement as well as the Blackfeet law enforcement. During the early part of the investigation, authorities would help conduct searches for Ashley, but according to the Senate Indian Affairs Committee, it would be 2 months before the Bureau of Indian Affairs would take the case seriously. A short video was posted on social media on the night of June 5, 2017, from the night that Ashley had vanished. The video was of a party that she was at, and in the video, Ashley can be seen sitting on a couch, drinking and talking with other partygoers. They would then conduct a 3-day search of the reservation, but turned up empty-handed. Then, 2 weeks after Ashley had last been seen, a tip came into the family from someone stating that they had seen a young woman running away from a vehicle on the busy Highway 89, which ran through the Blackfeet Reservation. However, this sighting could not be confirmed. Ashley's family would quickly do an extensive search of the area, including a dump site, where volunteers had found a gray sweatshirt which was believed to be Ashley's. Ashley's family would turn the sweater over to the Bureau of Indian Affairs for testing. The family would later learn that the sweater was never sent to the lab, but it had instead been placed in a box in evidence. It was reported by witnesses that Ashley had been wearing that sweater on the night she had disappeared. Ashley's family would conduct another search, and during this search they recovered a pair of red stained boots and a tattered sweater which was torn and had what appeared to be bloodstains on it. The items were given to the authorities and sent for DNA testing. However, no further information has been released about the items. These items were located on the edge of the reservation near the town of Bab by a remote lake house that was owned by a man in his 50s whose name was Sam McDonald. Kimberly had stated that after Ashley and her first boyfriend had broke up and the loss of her grandfather, Ashley was left devastated. Ashley began hanging out with an older crowd and doing drugs. Sam McDonald was part of this crowd. Sam claimed that he was with Ashley on the morning of June 11, 2017, and that she had asked Sam if he could give her a ride to a roadside turnoff where she said she was going to meet someone named V-Dog, who was going to pick her up. Sam had said that at this point they had been up for days, and he just leaned back in his chair and fell asleep. He stated that when he woke up, Ashley was nowhere, and this was the last time he ever saw her. He stated that he was later told that V-Dog was the nickname of Paul Valenzuela, who was another man in his 50s with a criminal past of weapons convictions and burglary. Paul would spend most of his time going between the Blackfeet Reservation and Seattle. Ashley's family had said that just before her disappearance, she was seeing Paul, and that during that time, he was still married to another woman named Tashina Running Crane, also known as T. According to court records, Paul would file for divorce about a month after Ashley had disappeared. Sam had stated that they needed to talk to T and Paul as they were the ones that knew where Ashley was. In September of 2017, a YouTuber named T. Eastwood had posted a 14-minute long video called Setup. In the video, T says that Paul is trying to set her up and framing her for the disappearance of Ashley. T also claimed that Paul had Ashley and that everyone in town knows it. However, this post was taken down. Paul and T would end up reconciling, and Paul would end up in jail again on illegal firearms charges. During this time, T would do an interview with Nightline, where she had stated that she was blaming Paul and was very upset with him because everyone was telling me it was Paul. She said she finally sat him down and found out the truth. I told him I was sorry and everything for even thinking like that. During this interview, Paul had called T from prison, and she had told him she was doing the interview and that they wanted to talk to Paul, but Paul had hung up on her. T also claimed that she had searched for Ashley as well, but Ashley's family denies she ever did. T left the reservation to get away from all the accusations, which were that she had killed Ashley because she caught her husband Paul with her. T said that she did not know about the relationship between Ashley and her husband Paul until Ashley had gone missing, and denies the accusation that she had anything to do with Ashley's disappearance. She also stated that she and Paul were in Seattle at the time of Ashley's disappearance. Court records show that Paul was in the Seattle area in early June. On June 9th of 2017, a corrections officer report states that Paul told Washington Corrections that he planned to return to the Blackfeet Reservation to collect his belongings, only 2 days before Sam McDonald claimed Ashley was picked up by Paul at the side of the road on the reservation. Paul had also told corrections officers he would return the first week of July, but was a no-show and evaded corrections for 2 months after before he would be returned in September for a sentencing hearing in which he was sentenced to 20 months for an original weapons charge. Not long after Ashley had gone missing, her sister Kimberly had messaged both Paul and T asking about Ashley's whereabouts. In a text message that was supposedly sent from T, it said, "Paul has her." Then, in another text presumed to be from Paul, stated that Tashina is giving you false info. Ask her. She probably knows more than she's saying. During her interview with Nightline, she was asked about the text messages and said, "Oh my God, well that's shocking. I have no idea why he would say something like that." The interviewer would then ask T if there was something she was not telling them about Paul, to which she stated, "I don't know. No, I told you guys everything. I didn't even think he would say anything like that about me. I thought he was helping me on this. That's horrible." T would shortly end the interview. Paul would later write a letter to Nightline while in prison, stating that he could reveal who did all this to Ashley, and trust me, I am the only one who can. Paul said he would only talk, though, if he was moved to a different prison, which they could not do, and Paul refused to talk after that. 5 months after Ashley was last seen or heard from, the Blackfeet Tribal Business Council stated they had a $5,000 reward for information that would lead to Ashley's location. It wouldn't be till 9 months after Ashley had vanished, in February of 2018, the FBI would take over the lead in Ashley's case. This left many wondering why it had taken so long for the FBI to get involved. In June of 2018, marking the 1-year anniversary since Ashley had disappeared, friends and family set up a march for Ashley. Ashley's family was given permission to search a trailer that Paul and T frequented, and Ashley had also visited before she had vanished. Investigators had already searched the trailer and found nothing. However, when Ashley's family conducted their search, they discovered a maroon stain underneath the shag carpet. December of 2018, Kimberly would testify before the Senate Indian Affairs Committee in regards to her sister's disappearance. It would happen that just days before Kimberly was set to testify, that Ashley was added to the list of National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, 18 months after Ashley had vanished. The very next day, Kimberly received a phone call from the FBI stating that they had found human remains not far from where Ashley's family had done a previous search. Investigators determined that the remains that were found were not Ashley's and were that of a decades-old middle-aged man. It is said that the reservation is only policed by 17 officers who are responsible for the large amount of land, but funding is a problem. The funding comes from the BIA, which is known to be one of the most underfunded branches of the federal government. The Reservation Police and the Bureau of Indian Affairs has stated that they had conducted 38 searches and 55 interviews regarding Ashley's disappearance. They have also stated that there are people of interest but have not said anything further on that. There is a $10,000 reward that has been offered. In April of 2019, the reward was increased to $15,000, and by August of that same year, a reward of $65,000 had been raised. Friends and family have spent hundreds of hours scouring and searching for Ashley, including a trailer where there are no trespassing signs and where Ashley's cousins once lived, and rumored to be one of the last places Ashley was seen. Ashley's sister Kimberly has conducted around 40 searches, searching mountains and fields, and has used Google Earth to help aid in her searches. It wouldn't be until May 22nd of 2001 that a statewide database and reporting system was formed to report missing Indigenous people in the state of Montana. The database is called MMIP Montana. Ashley's disappearance has left her family broken, but still searching for answers as to what has happened to Ashley. At the time that Ashley vanished, she was a 20-year-old Native American who was about 5 feet 2 inches tall, weighing around 90 to 106 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Ashley has a scar on the top of one of her hands in the shape of a check mark. She was last seen in Browning, Montana. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Ashley Heavyrunner, please contact the Browning Police Department at 1-406-338-4000 or the Salt Lake City FBI at 1-801-778-4758, and please help bring Ashley home. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos of these strange days we live in.